Welcome along to Jalan Besar Stadium here in Singapore for the continuation of the AFC Champions League to 2025-26 campaign. A place in the quarterfinals at stake tonight for the Southeast Asian sides as Tampines Rovers host Cong Hanoi in this round of 16 second leg fixture. It's been a cloudy and rainy day here in Singapore. Wet weather that has carried into this evening, which will provide for an additional element to contend with for the players. Not quite as cool as Hanoi, 27 degrees Celsius, 84% humidity, but still pretty cool by Singapore standards. The players should be comfortable out there on a great playing surface. What was once an artificial turf is now a pristine natural grass pitch, which is perfect for high quality football. And there can't be too many complaints about the field of play or the conditions as we get set to take in this crucial contest that has had its dramatic twist halfway through the story and the potential for even more throughout this evening. We will have at least 90 minutes tonight, but we could get even more to settle this tie if needed. Extra time and penalties on the cards tonight if necessary. For that to happen, Cong Hanoi will need to find a way back from a 3-0 deficit, even though they won the first leg 4-0 on the pitch. They put on a fantastic performance in the first leg, which was played at the Hung Sae Stadium in Hanoi. They had great control of the match and were dominant throughout with 3 goals scored in the first half, 2 from Win Quang Hai and 1 from the player in your picture now, Higashikawa, also known as Shina, for adding a 4th late on at a time, thanks to Win Din Bak, who came on from off the bench to cause more problems for the away side. That was how it finished on the night. Tampines Rovers facing a mammoth task to try and make a comeback in the second leg, but in the hours and days to follow, though, they received a reprieve, a lifeline, and an advantage which could help them through to the final 8. As news came through that Cong Hanoi had fielded 2 ineligible players in the first leg, Stefan Malk and Higashikawa was supposed to be serving a 1-match suspension, having accumulated 3 yellow cards during the group stage, with their 3rd coming in the final group game against Taipo. Instead, they both started the first leg, with Higashikawa getting a goal as well. All the efforts and the lead that they built in that fixture wiped out, as the Asian Football Confederation confirmed early yesterday that the home side's victory would be forfeited, with Tampines Rovers being awarded a 3-0 win ahead of this second leg. Both Higashikawa and Stefan Malk deemed to have served the suspensions already, so they are named in the lineup for this evening. We saw them in the tunnel earlier as well. Both sides lined up in there, getting ready to come out onto this beautiful playing surface here at Jalan Besar Stadium, which has filled up nicely. A good atmosphere being created by both sets of fans. And Cong Hanoi sell out their away allocation pretty quickly upon the release of tickets. As we take a look at the home fans, supporters of Tampines Rovers. Expect a lot of excitement and energy to come from the crowd, and the players will be looking to produce on the pitch. Cong Hanoi coach Alexander Manopolking stressed that the club took full responsibility for a mistake of their own, although he lamented the fact that both players had seemingly been cleared to play in the match commissioners meeting a day earlier. The AFC, though, maintains that the onus is on the clubs to ensure they document and monitor the disciplinary records of their own players. The release of their findings on Tuesday, stating that Cong Hanoi failed to adhere to its obligations to monitor the suspensions received by its players and ensure that all players fielded during a competition are eligible to play. So, in addition to that result being overturned, Cong Hanoi will also fined $2,000 in addition, and penalize 50% of their $80,000 participation fee. Well, with all of that sorted then, Tampines Rovers head into this match with a solid lead now, and with the advantage of knowing they have a firm cushion to work with, it does make things fascinating in terms of their approach. From a tactical perspective, it allows the Singaporean club to employ a strategy which could see them play more on the transitions from a deeper defensive position. It looked like they might have had to come into this second leg and go all out on the attack, but that narrative has shifted now, and they are in the driving seat. Instead, it's the visitors who will have to come out and take chances with their approach. Cong Hanoi, though, are a side who love to play on the front foot and put the opposition under pressure. So this will be something they are comfortable doing anyway. Monopolking keen to stress the importance of mental strength ahead of the second leg. And it is also worth noting that they have absolutely dominated Tampines in their two recent meetings, with last Wednesday's 4-0 victory following up a 6-1 rout in the ASEAN Club Championship a week earlier. The away side with the quality to mount a comeback. It will be tough, but they are going to fight for their place in the next round. Great level of noise here at Jalan Besar Stadium. So have a look at the match officials. A bit more on them later on. Here's what Tampines Rovers have gone with for their starting 11. They have made 4 changes from the first leg meeting. 16-year-old goalkeeper Casey Rogers comes into the side for his senior debut in a key continental contest. He replaces Shazwan Buhari, who is out through injury. Jacob Mala and Irfan Najib also get starts tonight. They replace Dylan Fox and Raul Suhaimi. Yuki Kobayashi makes his first start in the competition. He comes in for Glenn Quay. And Quang Hai, captain of Cong Hanoi, and Shah Shahiran, the captain of Tampines Rovers, meeting in the middle. Kim Yu-jong is the match referee for this fixture. She's taking charge of her second AFC Champions League 2 match this season. Her first was a game between Nam Dinh and Ratchaburi. She has also refereed at the AFC Under-23 Asian Cup earlier this year. She will be assisted by Heba Sadie of Palestine and Supawan Hintong of Thailand. Wiwat Jumpaun, also of Thailand, is the 4th official. Well, Monopolking has kept faith with a team that produced an excellent performance in the first leg. He has not made any changes to the starting 11 from that fixture. It's a team with plenty of quality. Keep a lookout for Leo Artur, who will be looking to thread passes through in attack. Win Quang Hai captains the side. He scored twice in the first leg. Alan leads the line for the visitors. This will be his 8th appearance in the competition, and he is still looking for his first goal. Video assistant referee support is available for this contest. VAR for tonight is Choi Hyun-jae of Korea Republic. Yoon Chae-yol will be serving as the assistant VAR. Cong Hanoi here at this stage of the competition for the first time in their history. For Tampines Rovers, to make it into the quarterfinals for the first time since 2016. Moments away from the countdown to kickoff. And we're off here at Jalan Besar Stadium in Singapore. AFC Champions League 2 2025-26 campaign. Round of 16, second leg fixture between Tampines Rovers and Cong Hanoi. Tampines Rovers leading by 3-0. Hanoi had won the first leg 4-0. That result overturned after they were found to have fielded 2 ineligible players. Tampines Rovers with that reprieve and And with the advantage coming into this second leg, they're going from right to left in the yellow and black. Chinedu Robert Eziako, the interim head coach, parted ways with Noor Rahman after that first leg defeat. And there is Alexander Mano Polking, hugely experienced and a head coach who has seen a lot of success in his career already. It is his 70th match in charge of Cong and Hanoi in all competitions for the club. Won them the Vietnamese Cup last season and the Super Cup prior to the beginning of the campaign, and he's got them looking really good in the domestic league as well. Higashikawa with the first effort. That's what the home side will be looking for. Quick passes over the top for Higashikawa. He's an energetic, hard-working centre forward. Scores goals, creates chances as well. Good movement. Cong and Hanoi will play with a high defensive line. They love to push on, put the opposition under pressure. There's Hugo Gomis. Sho Yamashita with the header away. The team in red, whenever they lose possession, they'll be keen to counter-press, try and win it back quickly. Looking at a back three when they build from deeper positions in the on the pitch. Well, it's a lot of freedom for these players to occupy attacking spaces a little bit further forward. You'll see interchanges of positions as well. Leo Artur, the number 10 especially, will be given lots of freedom to move across those attacking midfield areas. This is Bui Hang Viet Ang. Onto Gomis. There's Artur. First touch in possession. He's one that Tampines Rovers will have to watch out for. He struggled to get a hold of his positioning in that first leg. Early test for Win Philippe. There's Win Quang Hai, big cheers. Remember, he picks up the ball, and when his name was announced as well. They've got good support out here in Jalan Besar, the away side. Artur. Rogério Alves. As the give and go, Rogério, an attempt at a cross. Blocked by Yoshimoto, first corner. Six in red, looking to attack the delivery. That's met by a player in the yellow and black, Higashikawa. Caught underneath it. Van Hao hits it on, looking for Vitao. That's Sho Yamashita across. And his clearance coming off Win Quang Hai. He's got two great goals in that first leg. They were so dangerous in possession, Cong and Hanoi. Tampines Rovers were forced to sit very deep in that match. As Buhaja with the pace to hurt Cong and Hanoi. Higashikawa with the chance, falls to Buhaja, a big moment for the home side, and he's put it just wide. Well, that's a sort of risk that Cong and Hanoi will be taking tonight, which is going to make this an intriguing clash. Tampines Rovers have the pace going forward. You're going to be critical of the goalkeeper there, Win Philippe. He has to claim first time. And Trent Buhaja should probably be doing a lot better with that chance. He had a wonderful opportunity in that first leg as well to get himself a goal. He's got 5 in this season's competition. There's Vitao, very strong in midfield. Van Gaal made his AFC Champions League 2 debut last week in that first leg. Pendant Quang Vin goes inside to Mok. On loan from Adelaide United. Quang Hai onto Gomis. Very comfortable in possession. Tampines Rovers have shown this season as well that they are quite happy to let the opposition have the ball. And they'll just drop into a back five here and try and sit very deep, be compact between the lines. Fascinating as well with the setup. Higashikawa, when they don't have the ball, is playing on the right-hand side of that midfield four. Yuki Kobayashi drops in as that right wing back. Artur. Let's come off Rogério. Three goals in this campaign for the Brazilian, Rogério Alves, 29-year-old. Hadn't scored in 3 AFC Champions League 2 appearances until he entered against Tampines in that first leg. It's Trent Bahaja, who's got plenty of experience playing in AFC Champions League Elite as well. Not a great goal kick from the 16-year-old Casey Rogers. A few nerves. Kangan Hanoi will be keen to test the young goalkeeper. It is a huge call. Shazwan Bohari, their captain and goalkeeper, who is the #1, picking up a head injury at the weekend in a Singapore Premier League fixture. All the checks at the hospital were clear, but as part of the concussion protocol, they are keeping him out of the side, which is a very sensible thing to do. Casey Rogers gets a huge opportunity. As Alan. No pressure on straight away. Irfan Najib as Vital. Artur. Lovely turn away from Irfan. To Rogério. Mok. Artur demands it, always puts himself in a position to receive. Sends his shot well wide and has a look at the turf. I can tell you, Artur, wasn't too much wrong with the turf. Well, let's have a look at Trent's attempt earlier. And Bahaja, just with that speed, get himself down the line. Clever ball in for Higashikawa. Win Phillip was quick to that. Dropped it right into the path of Trent Bahaja. Could have put that away. And if he had, would have been it for this tie. Yoshimoto with the mistake. Rogério takes it off him. Quang Hai. To Rogério. Vital. Well, he thought about leaving it, took a touch and sort of just killed the momentum of the move. Higashikawa to Kobayashi. Lovely back heel. See the Higashikawa having to do a job for his side tonight. Normally the player who's leading the line. Left Trent Bahaja as the lone striker when they don't have it, which is a move that tactically makes a lot of sense. That pace to get in on the transition. Stefan Mok. Artur. He's a player that, if you're on the opposition, requires a lot of communication from the defense and concentration, because you're constantly communicating to pass him on to someone else. He just floats in between the lines, Artur. Takeshi Yoshimoto, strong enough to win the goal kick. That's going to be a fascinating battle. Rogério Alves, who's going to be fed the ball quite a bit. has pace and dribbling quality to run at the opposition fullback. And Takeshi Yoshimoto has got quite a bit of speed himself. He also is a fullback who loves to get forward. That is Sega Sumi, brought in by Tampines Rovers to replace Kyuka Nakamura, who left for Bangkok United in the off-season, but is now back in Singapore football with the Lion City Sailors. Higashikawa. Sharp. Referee was in the way, so Miyuki Kobayashi not happy at all, but what was the referee supposed to do about that? She tried to hop out of the way. There will be possession for Tampines, but it gives Cong Hanoi the opportunity just to drop back and reset defensively. They will go into a back five, but we call it almost a false back five, because you've got two attacking players in Quang Vinh and Rogerio Alves as the wing backs in those positions. Here is Quang Vinh. Loves to get forward. And it does drift in field as well, as he's doing now. Going to pin himself against Irfan Najib, number 7 of Cong Hanoi. As Artur just drops off. Plays inside the block well and outside of it comfortably. It's Gomis. Hui Huang Viet Ang. Has had his own injury issues to overcome. Viet Ang, 27-year-old central defender, joined in September of 2023 from Hanoi FC, came through as a youth player with Hanoi FC. Strong from Jacob Mahler. A run by Leo Artur. Pass from Vital was a little bit delayed, but blocked off. Kazama, quick first time ball to Bahagia. Can't bounce it back to Higashikawa. There's Quang Vinh. Oh, that's loose from pendant Quang Vinh. Sega Sumi, the power to burst forward from midfield. Bahagia, the only one in the box. More support arriving. Kobayashi reverses it beautifully into Sumi. Shah strong in the challenge. Flag has gone up for offside. Might have been Sega Sumi just coming back from an offside position. As Esiako watches on, former head coach of Hougang United, another team in the domestic league here in Singapore. So we have a look at the offside. He is just off Sega Sumi. Kobayashi. Foul on Viet Ang. I want to try and keep the tempo high. The away side. Tour. Straight to Casey Rogers. And these early touches off the ball will help. Will have been a few nerves. Plenty of excitement, I'm sure. Big show of faith in his ability. Van Gaal takes that off. Win Philip decides to take charge. Quang Vinh. Alam. Tried to float it over to Rogerio, but Yoshimoto was well placed. Gomis. Mok. Quang Hai, lovely football from Cong Hanoi. It's that one-touch play, which is impossible to defend. good use of the third man runs as well. There's Artur. Quang Hai, was he fouled by Shah? Referee plays the advantage. Artur into Alan. Move eventually breaking down. Here's Koya Kazama. Look at him being harassed. And they force the turnover. The intensity of the pressing. When they don't have possession, causing a big problem for Tampines Rovers. And a sign of just how well coached they are by Mano Polking. He is a head coach who wants his teams to dominate. They are lovely to watch. As were Thailand when Polking was the national team head coach there. In fact, he led Thailand to 2 ASEAN Championship titles. Polking was also being considered for the Singapore national team head coach job. Vital's shot coming off Leo Artur. Higashikawa, who was initially brought in by Tampines as the under-19 head coach recently, stepping in to take over from Nur Rahman. Tampines Rovers looking for their 3rd head coach of the season. Started the campaign with Akbar Nawas, and he was in there for just over 80 days before being let go. And Nur Rahman had 18 matches before he was let go as well. Prior to that, Tampines had Gavin Lee as the head coach for 5 seasons. Club that has seen a lot of changes in preparation for this campaign. New chairman in Shugo Sakamoto coming in to replace Desmond Ong. They've had to rebuild. It's Yoshimoto. Higashikawa. Tight angle. But he gives Win Philip some work to do. There's Mok. Artur. Clever touch back to Quang Vin. Was surely fouled, but again the referee plays the advantage. An excellent tempo to this contest. Such an enjoyable intensity. There's delightful playing surface in these conditions. Cool by Singapore standards. A surface that is true and quick. It suits the quality of the players that we have out there. All technically very good. Gomis. Of course, just as I praised the technical quality of the players, Sogerio has to do that with the cross. There's a look at that run from Higashikawa. Yoshimoto looking to provide some support with his own dart into the 6-yard area. Wasn't going to get there. Bahagia lagging behind as well. Here is Strat Bahagia. Kazama. Loose touch. Runs into Rogerio. Koya Kazama, one of the assist leaders in this competition with 5 of them. That's Marlow with the foul. Pretty good foul to give away in that position. Artur looking for some movement ahead of him. Vital is the one who provides it. It's Kozama, lovely footwork to get away from Mok. 3 players around him, just being squeezed here, Tampines Rovers. Van Hao. Artur. It was around about this stage of the first leg where Kongan Hanoi really started to take charge and impose themselves on Tampines. This time around, they've been good from the first whistle, but yet to really test Rogers. Great ball in, just over the head of Alang. There's Gomis with that delivery. Kobayashi collects. Here's Irfan. Higashikawa always willing to drop to provide support, even under pressure. Brave. That's Kobayashi. Well, that is what Tampines Rovers will need to be this evening. Under that intensity of the press from Cong and Hanoi and that counter-press style that they have, they close down very quickly, and Tampines Rovers need to have that ability to hang on to possession and find a way to break through that, because once you can find a way through, the pitch really opens up. There is Paul King. Still just 49 years of age, by the way. Pretty young by coaching standards. What a wealth of experience that he's picked up in his coaching career. And so had 211 matches in charge of Bangkok United. Vital. Artur. There's that switch looking for Rogerio. Hasn't quite come off once again. Van Gaal, good to see him back, the 26-year-old, turning from injury, making that welcome return to the squad. Adds plenty of quality and experience. Another former Hanoi FC player, also spent some time in Dutch football with Heerenveen. Yuki Kobayashi of Tampines Rovers also played for Heerenveen. Shimoto, Bahagia, Kazama, as Shah, given a foul away. Has to be a little bit better, and it does come into him. There's a talking to from the referee. Paul King and his staff not happy that he's not been booked. He felt that Cong and Hanoi had the opportunity to break. Could have created something. There is Wing Quang Hai. Superstar of Vietnamese and Southeast Asian football. Don't think that delivery was what he really intended. Too shallow. Now that's a really tidy bit of distribution from Casey Rogers. Again, he'll be encouraged by that, get some applause from his teammates. A couple of Australians coming together. Monk going across with that forearm as well. He's quite fortunate he didn't make contact with the face of Trent Bahagia. Now to clarify, I said a couple of Australians. Trent Bahagia, he represented Australia at under 23 level, but he's now a Maltese international at senior level. Bayashi. It's headed away by Huy Hoang Viet Ang. Don Van Gaal. Artur. Well, could have been tricky for Rogers. I heard shouts of the goalkeeper, or maybe from one of his defenders, saying he should have come for that, but I think he made the right call and took a deflection on its way through. Changed the flight of that delivery. Gomis has hurt himself in the process of committing that foul. knee-to-knee connection. A painful one for both players. There's a Brazilian central defender. Late to that. Former Brazil youth international. Sao Paulo youth product. Hugo Gomes. There's Higashikawa, who's on loan from Tochigi City, playing J3 of the Japanese football pyramid. Vital. Cong. Gets it back from Ton Van Hao. Quang Hai had a short spell with the FC Pau in France. Wasn't a great spell for him, didn't get the minutes that he was hoping for. Came back to Vietnamese football and joined Cong Hanoi in July of 2023. It's a lovely diagonal by Win Quang Hai on that sweet left foot of his. Rogerio took it down well with that first touch. Swept across. Good a run off Rogerio. Last touch of Yoshimoto. Another corner for Tampines Rovers to defend. That's gone over the head of Gomes. We'll be looking for better quality on their set-piece deliveries, will Cong Hanoi. He spoke a lot about the mental state of his players, saying that it was so important that they are strong mentally coming into this contest, having seen their efforts in that first leg overturned. He took responsibility for the administrative issue. Now he wants to see some fight from his team. Cross from Artur, too close to Rogers. Viewers of a certain vintage might remember Casey Rogers, who was an actress in a TV series Bewitched all those years ago. That's Yoshimoto. Picked up by Kazama in midfield. Segasumi. Shah. Looking for the whistle. Eventually comes. Might have been the fourth official that communicated that to the referee. Takeshi Yoshimoto. He's clutching his ankle, but he should be all right. Got this away, and it was a late challenge. It is the right call. More than that for Rogerio Alves. Joined the club in July last year from Namdin. Played for Namdin in the round of 16 against Sanfrecce. Haja going down too easily for the referee's liking. No whistle this time. Shahiran's turn to go down holding his ankle. The referee choosing to keep her cards in the pocket. Let's have a look at this. As he went through, there was a bit of a follow-through from Alan, oof, that's a painful one for Shahiran. And it looks like there's going to be an early change. Vital is set to come off. They're going for it. They're going to be even more aggressive in attack. And it's a very talented number 9 who's coming on, Windinbach. Vital just being given a talking to, as if it was part of the plan. And if things aren't going their way, if they don't get that early goal, they will make an attacking change. And Vital has been the one who has had to be sacrificed here for Windinbach. You don't see this very often. Early attacking change. They do need those goals. Windinbach, who has 1 goal in this season's tournament. He scored the 4th in that first leg as well. But his first goal came against Beijing in the group stage. A result which eventually helped Cong Hanoi go through. And there's going to be an on-field review for a possible red card here for Alan. That could be a big issue for Cong Hanoi. There was contact. Studs on the foot of Shahiran. Let's see what the official decides. Oof, it is high onto the ankle. And it was one of those as well that he really didn't need to put his foot in there. It is quite late. Shah pokes it away and then it's high, it's into the ankle, and that might go against Alan. It's one of those, well, you might just say, because of what has happened here, what he's done there, he's put it in the hands of the referee. And now you're at the referee's mercy. I think there are some fans out there, or viewers out there, who might feel that if he doesn't get sent off, that would be pretty acceptable as well. Will be others who will feel that this should be a straight red. And a matter of how we view the game. All that matters in the end, though, is what that referee thinks. Kim Yoo-jong. Had to produce a straight red card in an AFC Under-23 Asian Cup match between Australia and Thailand. And let's see what she's decided. And it looks like the decision is going to be a yellow card. At least that's the information that we are getting. There we go. From Cong Hanoi's perspective, they will be pleased with that. Tampines fans, not happy at all. So first booking of this match going to Alan. Keeps this match at 11 against 11. And it's one of those where on another day, another referee, another official might decide that's a red. This one has judged that to be just a yellow. So on we go. Shah. Looking for Higashikawa! Oh, flag is up for offside. Hold on. He's done his part. Hide Higashikawa. He's put that away. This will be checked. against Shah in this first passage. No, nothing wrong with that. That should be cleared. What about when to come back to Higashikawa? No, he's onside. Looks like it's going to be given from that replay anyway. And it's a goal! And it's a big goal in this contest. One-nil up on the night. 4-0 on aggregate for Tampines. A fine finish by Higashikawa. Getting his 5th of the campaign. That's clean. Clearly onside, Shah. And then Higashikawa with the diving header. Beautifully placed. No chance for Win Philip. The pass and the move and then the execution to put that away. Tampines extend their advantage. Hawking spoke a lot about mentality. Where do they go from here now, Kangan Hanoi? A long way left. They might have gotten away with it with the yellow card for Alan. But Higashikawa on hand to punish them with the move that happened right after that decision. Artur. Rogério. That's Gomes. Van Gaal. 14 back. Bahagia. Gonna stretch his legs. Gomes gets there. Ahead of him. Here's Mock. Artur. Dinbach battling away. Gonna keep the attack going. Van Gaal. That's with Dinbach. That's gone out for a goal kick. And perhaps would have been a foul on Irfan Najib anyway. Wonder what's on his mind here. Massive team talk at halftime. There's a challenge coming into this already for Kangan Hanoi. Try and overturn that 3-goal deficit. They have not won an AFC Champions League 2 match away from home this season. 1 draw, 2 defeats. And in their 3 away games, they've not scored more than 2 goals in a single match. Tampines Rovers, a strong home record in this competition, undefeated. Tampines Rovers as well, continuing that streak of scoring at least once in all of their home matches in AFC Champions League 2. They have also won all of their last 4 home games in this tournament. Signs are looking good for the Singapore side. Artur. Frustration for Kangan Hanoi. Leo Artur, who was excellent in that first leg, has not really been given a chance to run things in this second. Solid defensive work by Irfan Najib. There's Artur. Dibak. Met by Mahler. Can accelerate away from Jacob Mahler. It's good defending by the Singapore international. Has conceded a corner. Lovely turn by Nguyen Tin Bak. Joined Cong and Hanoi from Quang Nam in August of last year. Quick, direct. Can finish as well, Nguyen Tin Bak. Mahler goes down in the box. The referee just having a chat with Gomis. Didn't look like there was too much in that. Artur floats that in. Gomis with the header! Bounced over Casey Rogers. Cleared off the goal line. Taken quickly. Played short. Quang Vinh. Beautiful turn away from Higashikawa. Artur. Rogerio. And Viet Ang unable to get a touch on that. Flag had gone up for offside anyway. And Sega Sumi is also being given a talking to. Shah has gone down. Want to look at the early opportunity. Yuki Kobayashi taking charge of that situation, flicking it away. He knew he had to get to that. That's wonderful defensive anticipation from Yuki Kobayashi. All that experience coming to the fore in that instance. Spotting that his young goalkeeper might be in trouble. And that Alan was looking to pounce on that one. And Kobayashi getting ahead to that to flick it away. And Yuki Kobayashi, a mid-season signing for Tampines Rovers. Monk quickly into that challenge and has a few words for Shah Shahiran. He's happy to give a few back as well. Well, he shoved Shah, and I'm surprised the referee is actually letting him get away with that. Essentially telling the players that you can put your hands on each other. Surely you're not allowed to shove a player in the way that Malk has. Shah doing very well not to react. The mentality important from Cong and Hanoi. It's going to be the same for Tampines Rovers as well. They have to keep cool. Cong and Hanoi, a couple of players in there who might be looking to cause an issue or two. Try and get a player from the home side in trouble with the official. Artur. Viet Ang. Monk with the header. He is high energy, Stefan Monk. Going after the ball boy as well. Wants it to be given quicker. The 30-year-old Australian joined the club in August of last year, and he's been enjoying his time at the club. Been producing for them as well, has become an important player. He's also played for Melbourne City and Brisbane Roar. Higashikawa takes a knock. There's Quang Vinh. Roger. Gomis. Van Gaal. That's Mock. He's also had spells in Dutch football, NEC, and in J2. Spent a couple of seasons with Fagiano Okayama. He was a regular for the side in that division. Coming up against the number 7 of Tampines Rovers, Sega Sumi, who is on loan from Fagiano Okayama. That's Rogers, confident again. '16-year-old American. Hasn't been tested too much. Came through with Hougang United's under 15 and under 17 sides and was brought in by Tampines early last year. Studies at the Singapore American School, Casey Rogers. What a story. If he keeps a clean sheet tonight, would be something pretty special for him on his senior debut. Two minutes played of the minimum of 6 added on. Yoshimoto. Kazama. He's done very well to earn a corner. Yellow card for Koya Kazama for time wasting. Good quality on the set pieces. Yamashita with a header back in. Punched out by Win Philip. Quang Hai takes the contact. There's going to be another booking here. This time for Yoshimoto. Atur. Cleverly chipped into the path of Alan. Mahler tracks the movement and then gets help from Koya Kazama. Only out for a throw-in. Vietnam. Escomis. Quang Hai. Vietnam on his outside. Kobayashi heads away, good height, but it falls to Quang Hai. First time ball in is dangerous. Rogerio at full stretch. Couldn't touch that towards goal. Was winded back. Hit the first time cross. Might have been offside anyway. Sumi onto Higashikawa. That's another good run on the outside, a weak effort. But he's such an excellent outlet for Tampines Rovers, and he's all over the pitch. On the right, into the middle, out on the left. Pops up in a goal-scoring position. Puts the cross away, gives Tampines Rovers the lead in this first half. Atur. That's Kobayashi onto Segasumi. Leo Atur. Desperate to make something happen. Wins it back. Plays a lovely ball forward for Dinbak. It's Win Dinbak. Atur! Well, he constructed the move, Leo Atur. This wasn't good enough on the finish at the end of it. As Dinbak playing with his head up. Picks out, it's number 10. As the whistle goes for half-time, a thrilling first half played at a wonderful tempo and a great intensity. Kangan Hanoi with plenty of possession, looking to dominate territory as well. But it is Tampines Rovers who are disciplined defensively, strong between the lines, nice and deep, and put the young goalkeeper Casey Rogers under too much stress. And they went down the other end and got a goal through Higashikawa, his 5th of the campaign, to extend their advantage to 4 on aggregate. At halftime here at Jalan Besar Stadium, it's Tampines Rovers 1, Kangan Hanoi 0. Welcome back to Jalan Besar Stadium here in Singapore. This is AFC Champions League 2 2025-26 campaign. Round of 16, second leg contest between Tampines Rovers and Cong Hanoi, just ahead of the second half. And as Cong Hanoi looking to make a change, Levando getting ready to come on. They already made a change in that first half, taking off Vitao, bringing on Windin back. It's a big chase for them in this second half. Gomis is the player who comes off, to be replaced by Levando. So it's another attacking change that they have made. They are going for it here in the second 45, team from Vietnam. Higashikawa in the 36th minute, giving Tampines Rovers the lead. The lovely diving header, extending the lead to 4-0 on aggregate. Odds are stacked against Cong Hanoi. What can they produce in this second half? Tampines Rovers with an immense defensive display in the first. And they keep up that discipline and that shape for the rest of this contest. We'll find out in just a few moments. Second half underway here between Tampines Rovers of Singapore and Cong Hanoi of Vietnam. A place in the quarterfinals of AFC Champions League 2 at stake. Cong Hanoi going from right to left on your screens, playing the all red. 4 goals down on aggregate. Higashikawa getting the opening goal on the night. Diving header in the 36th minute, giving Tampines Rovers an excellent cushion. Cong Hanoi have 45 minutes or so try and get themselves back into this. Tampines Rovers, if they hold out, they will move on into the quarterfinals for the first time since 2016. Cong Hanoi making the change with Levando also coming on for the second 45 in place of Gomis. That's his first time cross into Rogerio. Leo Artur finds some space for the shot off the back of Alan. It's Quang Hai. Marla not taking any chances. Decides to just hook it clear to the stands on the far side, and it bounces out onto the car park on the other side of the stadium. Cong Hanoi with 72% possession in that first half. They had 6 shots, just the 1 on target, which is something they'll be disappointed with. Having not tested the 16-year-old making his senior debut in goal for Tampines. There you go, played in by Duan Van Hao. Tampines have done brilliantly to protect the youngster so far. Hasn't yet been seriously tested with any shots coming his way. Tampines Rovers very efficient with the possession that they had, 28%. They managed 4 shots, 2 of those on target, scoring 1 goal. As Marla climbs well to win the header. Irfan takes it away from Rogerio. Bahagia can't pick up Kazama. Here's Win Quang Hai. Quang Vin. Through to Quang Vin. Lovely play from Cong Hanoi. They're just not falling for Alan this time. Some tidy work in possession. Look at the movement off the ball. Quang Vin into Din Bak. Just with this touch, I think he might have been going for goal, but Alan was there at the back post. A bit too much for him to get a touch on. Early goal in the second half will give them a big lift and some encouragement. That's been taken quickly by Shah. And Philip with the save. As Bohaja was still down, taking that forearm to the back of the head. It's an interesting thing with Alan, Brazilian striker, leading line for Cong Hanoi, yet to score in this competition. This one is 8th appearance in this campaign. He's still looking for his first goal. If you're looking at that, just purely AFC Champions League 2 stats for Alan, you might think, well, he's not been a very good signing for Cong Hanoi. You would be wrong. He's a very consistent goal scorer for them on the domestic front and at regional level as well. He scored twice against Tampines in a 6-1 win for Cong Hanoi. The ASEAN Club Championship meeting that they had a couple of weeks ago. And Tampines Rovers have also been the busier of the two clubs. Over the two legs, they've been involved regularly in domestic league matches. Had a game ahead of the first leg. They had a game last weekend as well ahead of this second leg. And they'll have a big matchup at the weekend against the Lion City Sailors. The top two in the Singapore Premier League coming up against each other on Sunday. For Cong Hanoi, they've been kept fresh for these matches. Haven't been involved in league action. A league in which they are looking in control of. After their 11 matches played, still unbeaten, the only side in the league to stay unbeaten at this stage. 9 wins and 2 draws for them. As Leo Artur, ambitious. Malk. Viet Ang. Into Quang Hai. That's Liu Artur. Mahler at full stretch with the header. Alain picks it up. Rogerio Ovis. Leo Artur, was there an arm into the face of Yuki Kobayashi? This is gonna just build and that frustration for Cong Hanoi. There's a yellow card for Leo Artur as well. Oh, he did connect with his elbow, Leo Artur. Face of Kobayashi. He's trying to say he was just holding his arms out to shield possession, but he's got a couple of scratches on his arm as well, Leo Artur. Certainly was contact. There was an arm to the face. Probably not much more in it than a booking for Leo Artur. A 30-year-old who joined the club in August last year from Binh Dinh. Just like Alain Grafici, who's number 72 for Cong Hanoi. Well, it's being checked here. Leo Artur. Oh, he could be in trouble. Leo Artur. The VAR looking for another, or recommending another on-field review. There was one in the first half. Alan getting away with the yellow card for a foul on Shah Shahiran. And, well, again, I mean, it's one in the hands of, you're taking a bit of a risk. It's a bit of a gamble. Or from this angle, it looks like there's a swing of the arm from Leo Atur. From here, it's not as clear that there's a big swing in it. But from that other angle that we had, where you get that front view, it does look like he raises his arm and there's a swing into the face of Kobayashi. From here, it just looks like a normal shrug, like something you do out on the pitch just to try and create some distance. But from the earlier angle on the replay that we had, it looked like there might have been some intent there from Leo Atur. So what is the decision this time around? The yellow card is going to be cancelled. Instead, it is going to be the red for Leo Atur. Well, he can't believe it. It looks to be the right call. Kim Yoo-jeong. It's been a frustrating night for Kongan Hanoi. And there's a real sense, you can understand that they will be feeling a real sense of injustice. And what has happened to them in their minds. Yes, Mano Polking has accepted responsibility for the administrative error from the first leg. But in their minds, you can understand from a human perspective how much frustration there must be. This is something that will aid Tampanese's cause. Osherio with what looked to be a late foul on Mahler. That's been waved away. Play continues. Here's Quang Hai. Dinbak. No ball in. Shah gets it. Dinbak has pulled one back for Kongan Hanoi. With 10 players, they've gotten a goal which might just give them a lift. This one put away by Dinbak at the near post. Casey Rogers, there you go, they finally test him, and the youngster gets caught out. The VAR will look at the incident earlier between Mahler and Rogerio and see if there was a foul there in the lead up to the goal. Wow. A tie which has been filled with so much drama. Oh, there is going to be another on-field review. This could be chalked off. That is quite clearly a foul on Mahler. Rogerio, he clips him. That is a foul. It wasn't given by the referee, who was right there, had a good sight of it. Waved off the appeals. Kongan Hanoi played on. And they ended up scoring from here, from this move. I mean, there is a foul there on Mahler, that is pretty clear. And I think what the official might have to think about here is how much time has perhaps elapsed from that. No. Yeah, I think that the goal is going to be chopped off. So no goal is the decision. So that's been cleared up. And again, more irritation for the away side. Bahagia. Higashikawa, lovely take on the turn. Good strong play. Higashikawa puts it away again. A wonder strike. And that could do it. That could be the goal that sends Tampines Rovers into the quarterfinal. It is top-class centre-forward play by Higashikawa. Everything in this was so smooth. Letting it run across the body, the turn away, the strength to hold off the challenge. Look at that left arm. And then it's a brilliant finish. Yoshimoto plays it inside. But it's all about Higashikawa, who fires that one past Win Phillip. His 6th goal of this campaign. Tampines Rovers leading by 2 goals on the night. 5-0 on aggregate. Back. Vietang Shah. Ton Van Hau calmly turns away from Bahagia. That's Quang Hai. Din Bak off balance. Cong and Hanoi earning their place in the round of 16 by finishing 2nd in Group E. Navigated a section that included Makata United, Taipo and Beijing FC. There's Alan. And a good strong start to the tournament. A 2-all away draw in Beijing. 3-0 home win against Taipo, 1-all draw against Makata. The second half of that group stage, quite a bit of composure. Yamashita goes down clutching his head. There's a big shout. Yoshimoto puts it out for a throw. Quang Hai takes it quickly, but there's a head injury, so the referee does have to stop this. Vietnam asking the question why. The answer's right there. Lying right next to him. Again, it's just been such a tough last few days for Cong Hanoi. Tampines Rovers, by the way, coming into the round of 16 with a very strong continental record, topping their group with 5 wins and 1 draw. Finished top of a group that included Pohang Steelers, 3-time Asian champions. And they may have lost the first leg 4-0 on the pitch, but statistically it's going to reflect as a 3-0 win. So on that front, they are yet to be beaten in this tournament. So another look at this brilliant goal by Higashikawa. Superb centre forward play. And some great pictures there. The celebrations on the pitch and on the bench. Higashikawa, who has now scored 22 goals in 25 appearances for Tampines since joining the club. As we get back underway. Here is Higashikawa. Mock. Levando. Bahagia. All very deep. It's Trent Bahagia. Tries to use his pace, but Win Kwang high. Had a good read on that. Dimbak. Alan's beaten to it by Irfan. Higashikawa. Irfan. Plays it right through Dimbak and Rogerio. The pressing from Cong Hanoi is still so intense. Playing with 10, there's no giving up. It's a wonderful attitude on display by the Vietnamese side. Kobayashi made a good run. Kazama couldn't quite find him. Vietnam, Mahler, getting in the way. It's been left for Rogerio. Well, they've had their chances. That was a good one as well. Was lacking the finishing touch this evening. Was unmarked, late run into the area to meet that cross from Vietnam. Completely mistimed the header. It's Quang Hai. There's Mock. French-born Vietnamese international Quang Vinh trying to cut inside. Gonna link up with Rogerio. Van Hao. deep. Mahler in the way again. He's had a great night out, Jacob Mahler in central defense. Cong easily earns a free kick, and there's going to be a yellow card for Yuki Kobayashi as well. Well timed drop on the shoulder. Levando with the cross. Yamashita. His hook's clear. Winded back. There is Levando. High, loose, Kazama, Bahagia. A twist and turn. Well, that's a really solid recovery challenge from Levando. Tracking back and taking it away from Trent Bahagia. Don Van Hau. Could only find Yuki Kobayashi. Sumi. Plenty of space for Tampines Rovers to work with now, especially as Kongan Hanoi chase this one. They've left just two players at the back. Quang Hai and Quang Vinh. He's on the ball now. Rogerio, touch into Alan. Rogerio gets away from Yamashita, but no way past Jacob Mahler. Has been an absolute warrior this evening, Jacob Mahler. Has put his body on the line, thrown himself about. He's gotten himself in some great positions defensively, and he's just been fighting for everything. Smart enough to go down there as well and take the free kick. To get through some tough times, Jacob Mahler. Monk again with a few words for Hide Higashikawa. No problems with keeping his cool. So he's seen with the two finishes. Rogerio. Gone down. Under some contact from Mahler. Referee's not interested. VAR will be having a look. Seen a lot of involvement from the VAR. All correct calls, all the right decisions. Higashikawa. Higashikawa save. Bahagia. And a good chance for a goal there for Tampines. 27-year-old off balance. He tried to put the rebound away. Yeah, this is the risk that Kongan Hanoi have to take. Look at this challenge from Mahler on Alan, which is being checked by the VAR. There was a bit of a kick there wonder if there's enough for the VAR to recommend an on-field review. Just checking if there might be a penalty here for Cong Hanoi. Tampines at the moment really benefiting from the away side's administrative error, which is pretty similar to what happened last season and also to another club from Singapore, Lion City Sailors. In their tie against Sanfrecce Hiroshima, they were heavily beaten 6-1 in the first leg, only to be awarded a 3-0 victory after it was revealed that Valère Jamal should have been serving a suspension. As the referee goes over to the pitch side monitor for the on-field review. The Sailors took full advantage of that let-off to go all the way into the final for losing 2-1 to Sharjah. Still a long way left to go in this tournament for Tampines, of course, but it looks like they're going to get the job done here in the round of 16. Referee again taking a long look at this. There might have been a knock. Just watch the left leg. There you go. Onto the right ankle of Alan. Took some time to go down there, but there was a kick here from Mahler into the back of his leg. And it looks like they are going to get a decision going their way. So a penalty for Cong Hanoi. And Alan looking for his first goal in this season's competition. He has scored 11 in 9 V-League 1 appearances this season. And has been effective for them in the ASEAN Club Championship as well, with 3 goals from 5 appearances there. Can he get his first on the continent? It's Alan up against 16-year-old Casey Rogers. Alan steps up to take this, and it's a brilliant finish from the penalty from Alan. Top corner, gotten a goal back, and it's something for the Cong Hanoi fans to celebrate. No clean sheet on his senior debut for Casey Rogers, but I don't think there was any way any goalkeeper in the competition was saving that. Perfectly placed by Alan. So a couple of changes coming up for Tampines Rovers. Alan getting his first goal of the season in AFC Champions League 2. And Dylan Fox is on, as is Glenn Quay. Koya Kazama will be coming off. Tampines looking for fresh legs to see this one out. Bohaja still looks fresh. A chance for his goal, and he gets it and makes it 3. slots it past Gwyn Phillip. A composed finish from Trent Bahagia. 3-1 on the night, 6-1 on aggregate. Couldn't catch him offside. It's just that speed of Bahagia. Once he gets through, there's no catching him. And then it was all about his composure. Shuya Yamashita, the centre-back, playing a lovely pass through. That's a composed, control finish by Trent Bahagia, that gets his 6th of this season's tournament. Cong high. Yamashita with the assist. Back there with the defensive header. And Gwyn Phillip. That's a good starting position. Much higher up the pitch. Taking it away from Higashikawa. And Dylan Fox, who picked up a groin injury in the first half, or late on in that first half of the first leg against Kongan Hanoi. Didn't play at the weekend, but he's back on here. Try and help Tampines see this one out. And recently come back from injury as well prior to his appearance in Hanoi. First time cross for Alan to try and meet. Enough pressure applied by Dylan Fox on Alang. As Kongan Hanoi getting ready to make 2 more changes. That's one Van Hau with the mistake. Higashikawa has got Bahagia on the cutback. Mock was there. Gwyn Phillip can't clear. Higashikawa, Mock off the line. Bahagia puts it away for 4. Kongan Hanoi falling apart. Understandably so. Tampines Rovers happy to accept the gifts. That's Higashikawa with the effort. Mock getting himself back onto the goal line. Fell kindly to Trent Bahagia. Make no mistake, to get his 7th goal. So while the check is going on, Kongan Hanoi are looking to make their changes. Stefan Mock is one of those players who's been getting ready to come off. Oh, offside. So that isn't going to be given. So we stay at 3 goals for Tampines. And the changes can take place. Rogerio Alves is off. And he's been replaced by Pham Minh Phúc. And the number 11, Le Pham Thanh Long, is also on for Stefan Mock. A disallowed goal. It's not going to matter too much in the grand scheme of things. Don't expect that to do much damage to Tampines' chances of progressing into the quarterfinals. Bahaja. Can't release Glenn Quay. Just fouls Pump in Pook. Long. Irfan Najib has also had a very steady outing in that Tampines Rovers back line. Dinbak. Just behind the Cong High. Just a matter of seeing this one out now for Tampines Rovers. It's 39-year-old Lepam Tan Long. Has been with Kongan Hanoi since September of 2023. Joined from Tan Hoa. Tends to cover lots of ground in midfield. Keeps his passing simple. And has been an important player in the side since joining, especially on the domestic front. He is sending it out wide to Dinbak. Levando, Win Dinbak with the toe poke. And Higashikawa again sends it far away from his penalty area. Still going, Hide Higashikawa. Tireless performance. Don Van Hau. Well, again, I have to applaud the attitude of Kongan Hanoi. There's no giving up here. Other sides might have just slowed the tempo, set back, said, fine, we'll take this. But they're still going, they're still looking for goals. Singapore international coming on. Trent Bahaja. On his goal this evening. Had one chalked off. His night is done. And it's Joel Chew who comes on. Singapore international. Joel Chew, very creative passer. 26-year-old who celebrated his birthday last Monday. Intelligent footballer. More than 115 appearances for Tampines Rovers. Into his 6th season at the club. There he is. No way past Viet Ang. Van Hau. this fixture taking place on the second day of Chinese New Year. And here in Singapore, it's a 2-day public holiday. It's also day 2 of Tet, which is the Vietnamese Lunar New Year. And Tet, which is generally celebrated on the same day as Chinese New Year. Big holidays in both countries. Both sides involved in training instead, preparing for this match. And the official holiday period for Tet in Vietnam this year begin on the 14th of this month, carries on until the 22nd. An interesting thing about Tet as well is that it's celebrated a little differently in the north and south of Vietnam. Tampines Rovers coming up against a side in red. Leo Artur receiving his red packet in this second half, which made things a lot more difficult for Cong Hanoi. Not the kind of red packet you enjoy on Chinese New Year. Well, we are going to have a minimum of 10 minutes added on. Segasumi. So another 10 minutes for Tampines Rovers. They'll hold off Cong Hanoi. Lots of checks on the VAR. We've had a few on-field reviews. All the time added on. We've had some injuries as well. Stoppages for that. So all very fair with the time added on, and it's 10 minutes at a minimum. After that, it's up to the referee. Pham Tan Long is looking for some options. That's a powerful header from Segasumi. It's out for a corner. Pham Min Phuong to Pham Tan Long. Worth the try. Opened up for him. They were slow to close down. Just cut across his shot there. Pham Tan Long. Came off the bench in the first leg as well. So here's another change for Tampines Rovers with Zikos Chua getting an opportunity in this competition. He's not seen too many minutes since joining the club. Zikos Chua, that's a nice touch for him to get some minutes under his belt here. It's his first appearance in AFC Champions League too. And a nice warm round of applause for Higashikawa as well. Zikos Chua, Singapore Youth International, 23-year-old who's good friends with a number of his teammates here in this Tampines Rovers side. Fox with the header. There's Zico Schwab. Has to be careful. He's given away a corner with his first touch. That's a great defensive header from Mahler. Textbook. Gets distance, gets the direction. Chance to reset the defensive line. Here's Lepam Tan Long. Tampines Rovers will also want to make sure that they don't make any mistakes with the regulations in terms of things like these substitutions. They've already been on the receiving end of an issue in the Singapore Cup final against the Lion City Sailors. Didn't have enough local players on the pitch. Tried to rectify it, but it was too late. Ended up losing that final anyway, but even if they had won, they would have had to forfeit that match. Quang Hai goes down. Pretty big shout from Quang Hai, but he's back up on his feet. It's going to be okay. The referee just going across to check on Win Quang Hai. Who spoke about how blessed he's been to have been able to work with Chanatip Songkrasin, one of Thailand's national team coach, and Win Quang Hai, two superstars of the game in this region. They challenge on Shah Shahiran from Le Vandon. There's going to be a booking. He's left his leg in. Done well, Shah Shahiran. There have been a couple of occasions where he's been perhaps just antagonized a little bit by a couple of these Kongan Hanoi players, especially Stefan Mok. He's kept his cool. He's led by example with the captain's armband. Not gotten involved. Anything that would put him in trouble with the referee. Van Howard, the in-swinger. There's Fox with the first header. Comes back their way. Levando. Shot is blocked by Irfan Anjolchu. And Levando, he's got to be careful. Already booked. The play can continue because Fox is off the field of play. That's wasted from Win Din Bak. Well, at least a couple of minutes here for Tampines Rovers to see out, and for Kongan Hanoi to play out. Van Hao Back to Tuan Van Hao. Reverses a pass into Din Bak. Does the same for Min Phuc. Meets the head of Fox. Swing Quang Hai. Din Bak. It's another match ball that ends up in the car park on the far side of the stadium. A public road on the outside of that stand as well, on that side of Jalan Besar Stadium. One with a few bars and restaurants. And there might be some people out there walking away with the match ball. Van Hao. There's Quang Vinh. Alam. And that should be it. Tampines Rovers waiting for the sound of that whistle. A whistle of relief for Tampines Rovers. And there it goes. Job done. A reprieve after the first leg, a lifeline, and an advantage to hold on to at the end of that first leg for the Singaporean club. A 4-0 defeat that was turned around due to an administrative error from Khong An Hanoi. Tampines awarded a 3-0 win. 3 goals to work with, and they were excellent at home. Once again, it's another victory at home in AFC Champions League 2. They stay unbeaten in this competition. Hide Higashikawa getting the first in the 36th minute, and then added a brilliant second in the 60th. Alan pulled one back for Khong An Hanoi from the penalty spot in the 77th, before Trent Bahagia wrapped up the scoring in the 79th. You feel for Khong An Hanoi, it's been a tough week for them. Saw Leo Artur sent off as well in the second half in the 55th minute, and the task just became impossible. Tampines Rovers go through to the AFC Champions League 2 2025-26 quarterfinals. It finishes here at Jalan Besar Stadium. Tampines Rovers 3, Khong An Hanoi 1. Singapore side going through 6-1 on aggregate.